Go. Hi, Sally. Welcome
So
to the contest. Welcome back. First of all, can you see the timer?
I can see the timer.
Great. So the next contestant is Sally Theakston. And Sally, today's table topic is, with this unseasonably warm weather, should we be concerned or just kick back and enjoy it? So with this unseasonably warm weather, should we be concerned or just kick back and enjoy it? Sally Theakston.
It would, of course, be lovely just to kick back and enjoy this unseasonably warm weather. I think in Britain, as we approach the winter months, we are looking forward for sunshine and warmth to get us through some of those deep and dark days. But we should be very, very concerned. World leaders are meeting in COP to talk about the effects of global warming and the unseasonable patterns of weather that our world is facing, because I think this is one of the greatest threats for humankind, the greatest threats beyond humankind for our environment, for our single planet Earth. And so the weather patterns are changing throughout our world, and these are bringing terrible threats to humanity. Droughts where there have been fertile lands and people are going hungry. Floods that have been beyond anything we could possibly imagine, more water than is needed to water the earth. And so people are being flooded out of their homes. Scorching temperatures. We love it in Britain when we get some very hot weather, but actually this year has been extremely arid and depressing for those who are trying to till the land and to feed the world. And so we should be most concerned, and we should do everything in our power to try and limit the increase of temperatures. And so we can begin with our own lives as guardians of creation, of actually making sure that we are so careful about our use of fossil fuels. And we go beyond to our country and to the world. And those leaders in COP are absolutely going to work, I hope and pray, that our temperatures are brought to within a reasonable time. So, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this hot weather, but I'm going to work to make sure it doesn't exceed what is bearable. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Sally. I think it's 3 minutes now, right, to I think it's a minute. Then we have time to judges go and deliberate. Yeah.
1 minute.
Okay, thanks. How would you like to play this, Teresa? You going into the room, or you can ask the judges to send you their results?
So I think probably the easiest thing to do is to take all the judges and put them into the room
Yeah.
with us. Then that way you can carry on with what you need to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll send them back in once they have given us their ballots, okay?
Okay, then Paul, if we could have all the judges in the room, please,
And the counters.
and the counters, yeah.
They're just all filing out now.
Okay, we wait for them to go. As
I'll quickly join them, Paul, just make sure they got everything they need.
yeah, thank you then, Paul. Yeah, okay, if everybody's away, then just a tip for anybody running a contest, as I've been told about it before, you must make sure the judges are out before you start talking about things. You don't want to be influencing any of the results or anything. Okay, so that's great. Well done, all the contestants. All right, that's great contest. And what we can do, we can have a couple interviews before we go for the break, as we like to hear about our contestants. So I won't interview anybody that's in the second contest. So the first one on my sheet is Sally. So Sally Theakston, I'm just reading up your profile, and I guess the thing that can catch me is one of the first women priests in the Church of England. So can you tell us about that? When did that happen?
Well, very interestingly, yesterday we marked the 30th anniversary of the vote to allow women to be priests. It took a little bit of time to go through Parliament, and I was ordained alongside lots of other women in Southwark Cathedral in 1994. So it was yesterday was a historic time.
Oh, yesterday, 30 years yesterday, wow.
30th anniversary, yes, the vote.
Yeah, so how did you find the experience then?
Well, it was quite challenging at the beginning because there were maybe still people who were very unhappy about the decision. But over that 30 years, I think women have been readily accepted as priests and have brought a new life to the Church of England, a more inclusive ministry.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the information here, I did search on Google, and your diocese is quite interesting, right? Sort of Norfolk. I always quite like going out on those walks and finding those churches in the countryside.
Yes, we have one of the highest concentrations of medieval churches in the world, which is quite a challenge. And particularly, we were talking about global warming not so long ago, but these churches are incredibly difficult to maintain and to heat. So in a British winter, a medieval church of unbelievable size in a small village can be quite a challenge to maintain.
Do you put things like solar panels on churches now? Is that something that can be considered?
We're beginning this, certainly. Yeah. It's quite difficult because people can be very protective of a wonderful medieval church, but certainly where they're not easily seen from the road, because churches are well aligned to have solar panels. And the Bishop of Norwich, who I work for, is the lead environmental bishop. So we're trying to act out environmental care within our own locality.
Fascinating. So one more thing you like visiting unusual places. So can you give us an unusual place that you visited?
Oh, well, before the tragic events in Ukraine, I actually visited Chernobyl about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To see the effects, the extraordinary effects of the nuclear problems there, and see the Chernobyl being returned to nature, really, trees growing up in the streets. So that was an extraordinary visit. So I have visited Ukraine. What
was the most interesting thing you saw then in Chernobyl when you visited?
Well, I think it was the way that nature was taking over what were streets, trees growing up amongst them and animals coming into the environment. So it's how things are quickly claimed back by nature when they're left alone.
Oh, fascinating! Yeah, I've seen some of the programs and documentaries about this sort of thing. I find it very interesting, actually. Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you, Sally, and